people need to come out to more local shows and stuff, because there's a lot of really talented bands, but it's hard to pull the crowds these days, man. With the internet and stuff, it's just a different sort of time.
Today we have a very special guest joining us today from the UK. We have Shaun from KIDPUNK.
Hello, everyone.
Shaun, thank you for joining us today, and how's everything going for you?
Good, man. All good over here. How's you?
Yeah, everything's good here. No, we're excited to have you. We have some good questions here that hopefully we can learn a little bit about you. Kind of starting with where it all began for you with KIDPUNK, can you kind of tell us how did your journey with music start?
Me personally, with music is like something that's been in the bloodline since I was like really born. I was born into music. My dad's in a band, punk band. My dad and my uncle are in punk bands, and it's something that I've just did since I was a kid. But KIDPUNK itself didn't start until probably when I was about 15, 16. But before that, I was in a couple other bands, and I never actually found a sound that I liked or anything. It's funny because I started off making like pop punk, like not making pop punk music, but I always started off listening to like punk music, like bands like Green Day, and then I got into heavier bands as I got a bit older. It kind of went full circle, and I came back to punk, and I was like, actually, this is where my heart lies. I want to start making music like this again. So
that's cool. How old are you now?
I'm 21.
21, gotcha. So you've been doing it for about 6 years now with KIDPUNK?
Yeah.
Is KIDPUNK kind of what you go by, or is it what you call your band? Like, when did the band kind of come into?
It started off as this, like, a funny thing. It sounds like a solo project because it did start as a solo project. At the time of KIDPUNK, I was also in a band called Riverside, which was literally KIDPUNK. It was the same band and everything, but I just wanted to start a side project. And then we released the Satan music video, and it kind of took off. And I was like, right, well, there's kind of no point in being in two pop punk bands, when we've got this one that's doing well. So why don't we just make KIDPUNK the band? And then that's why KIDPUNK's now a band. So, yeah.
Your kind of roots in punk, and then also you kind of worked in heavier stuff as well. What would you say your main influences are, band-wise?
Definitely Green Day is number one, which I think you can kind of hear on the music a little bit. Definitely in the newer songs, people will hear that. But Green Day is the number one. And then all the classic, all the modern stuff I absolutely love, like Stories of Far, Neck Deep, all those new wave sort of bands as well. It's a very wide variety. I also like sort of more like punk rock sort of bands, like Rancid, all those sort of things. Heavier side, not as poppy sort of punk. I still love that sort of thing. So yeah.
Have you seen Neck Deep live by chance?
Yeah, I have actually a couple times. Mm-hmm. Really good live band.
Me and Caleb actually just saw them 2 weeks ago. We're in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and they were playing on their tour with Drain and
Higher Power.
Bearings, Higher Power. Yeah. That was a good show.
Yeah.
I figured you'd probably like them because they're from Wales.
Yeah, I love them over here. We've actually played a festival with Higher Power. I don't know if he's caught them on that bill, but we've played with them before. They're not from like far from where we live, so.
That was my first time hearing of them, but they were good.
Hardcore sort of turnstile sort of vibes.
Mm-hmm. I can definitely hear that. What were some of your influences on like the heavier side that you mentioned that you did for a little bit?
It was like a total different venture altogether. I kind of haven't even worked that into KIDPUNK yet, to be honest. I think eventually it might, but that was more like along the routes of like Alter Bridge and Guns N' Roses and like just all the kind of classic dad rock bands and shit. Like that hasn't really came out in KIDPUNK. I mean, I learned all the solos and shit, so I can play guitar like that, but I like to keep it simple with what we're doing. It suits the sound.
Are you a fan of Bring Me the Horizon at all?
Yeah, absolutely love them. Saw them not long ago.
I did too at the end of last year when they were touring with Fall Out Boy. They're really good too.
They're kind of like bridging the gap between just genre fluid. It's sick what they do. Like they just release a pop punk song, then a hardcore song. It's just like
they're so good at what they do. I wasn't sure when you said heavier stuff if you meant like old Bring Me the Horizon, like that kind of heavy, or
nah, not that heavy. I mean, I like it now, but that's my limit. There's only so much of that I can listen to be completely honest.
Right. No, I completely agree. Now, kind of transitioning to your career in the UK, how would you say that the pop punk scene is in the UK?
Like our level, like there's definitely bands there, but it's not exactly as good as it could be. I mean, I think people need to come out to more local shows and stuff because there's a lot of really talented bands, but it's hard to pull the crowds these days, man. With the internet and stuff, it's just a different sort of time. After COVID, it was really good. We had really good show. It was our first show, and it was after COVID, and it was absolutely rammed full of people. But it just drops off, and picks back up again. But the last headline show we did was sold out in the home city. That was sick. But I think it's definitely good scene there. I think it just needs exposed more. Really, I think people just, because the thing is, most people who listen to music, they're not gonna go looking for smaller bands. They're just gonna listen to whatever's put in on the plate in front of them. So if they're not gonna hear it, then they're not gonna like it. You know what I mean? Because they don't know it exists.
With that, kind of what you're saying with exposure, I found a lot of my favorite bands just from the Apple Music or Spotify algorithm. You know, I'll play a bigger band and then it'll play music
Yeah.
similar to that. Like that's how I found you, for example.
That's it. That's how I've found like bands myself as well. Spotify's like the one thing that is like, it's so helpful for artists now. Like we wouldn't be where we are at all without that. Getting playlists and stuff, it's given us a massive boost. We're grateful to Spotify.
You mentioned playing shows and having some of them sell out and everything. What have been some of your favorite venues you've played and bands that you've performed with?
In our home city, there's a venue called the Head of Steam. That one's really cool. It's like an underground sort of setting. Um, and we also did a festival in that city called Rise Fest. There's like a nightclub in our area which is like made for like the alternative scene. They put on a festival, but they put on some really big bands, and also, there was like a competition to get onto it, and we won it, and then we got onto it, and it was with like the likes of Boston Manor, Higher Power, Frank Carter. It was just loads of like Static Dress on it. It was sick. We managed to like talk to all these bands and stuff after and get advice off them and stuff, and it was a good experience.
I recognize you say Celtic Manor, right?
Boston Manor, sorry.
Boston Manor, yeah.
Yeah,
So I recognize them too.
yeah, they're a really good band.
If you don't mind me asking, where in the UK are you?
We're in Newcastle, North England.
North England? Okay, gotcha. You know, being in England, do you do anything in particular to kind of market your stuff globally, or are you mostly trying to focus in the UK, or just kind of whatever happens, happens?
Funny enough, most of our listeners, like when we look at analytics and stuff, are actually in like other parts of the world. Germany's a big one, America. So I think it's kind of spreading naturally just because of like Spotify and stuff. But we definitely do want to focus on the UK for the next couple of years, try and really make a mark in this scene, because this is where we're going to be touring. Really, I mean, we have got plans to obviously venture out, but at this stage it's hard to do as a DIY band. Obviously we do everything ourselves, it's all funded ourselves, so it's pretty hard to try and get further than the UK at the moment, but we're trying though.
It seems like from what you've posted, you have some cool plans coming up locally.
We're going to do a headline show in April with all the other bands, because there's a good few local pop punk bands in our actual city. We're going to put on like a big pop punk night with them, and it'll be sick. That's going to be like an EP release show, so hopefully we can sell that out. Tickets are already selling, so it's looking good for it. It's not till April. So.
How kind of transitioning to how you actually make music, how would you kind of describe your songwriting process? Like what goes into it for you?
I've spoken to other people who write songs and stuff, and I think I write kind of a weird way. I don't think many people write the way I do. I'll start, like a lot of people, if they're writing a song, they'll start with a chorus, like the hook, the catchy part, and then work around that. But I'll literally just start from nothing, like just the very first. I'll write the intro, the verse, pre-chorus, chorus, and just go from there. And then if it doesn't work, it's somewhere along the way, I'll just scrap it. But I've got like endless demos. I'm just writing every single day. I have done for the past like 5 years. I think it's the only way you can write good music, is just stay consistent. It just takes like a long time to write good songs. Even though they sound so simple and stuff, there's so much thought that goes into it. It makes us respect all my favourite bands so much more now that I'm like fully into the songwriting process. And it makes you understand how hard it actually is to do. Like what the likes of Bring Me the Horizon, for example, do, where it's just like every song's a hit. It's a lot harder than people think, I personally think.
I agree. There's definitely some art to it. You do all of the writing for KIDPUNK?
Yeah, I do. I work with a producer called George. He mixes with stuff as well. But so what I'll do is I'll write the full song, lyrics, I'll MIDI all the drums and everything, track guitars and stuff, and then we'll take it to George, and then George chimes in a few different ideas, just basically just produces a track from there, and yeah, and the drummer jumps on, Dan, he does his bit, and yeah, it just comes together like that.
Would you say that there are any common themes that you write about?
I try to keep it pretty light-hearted. I've got like a writing style in my head that I'm still trying to get at. KIDPUNK by no means is where like I want it to be at the moment. I feel like with songs are just building blocks to what I can do, if you know what I mean. I've got like an idea in my head and it's hard to actually speak about. It's weird. Like it's something where it's just manifesting itself, if you know what I mean, over time. I'm just trying to slowly like let it out. The whole overall theme is just light-hearted, kind of introduce maybe some more like comedic sort of wittiness into me songwriting as well in the future, I think, just because I like the idea of keeping it pop punk, a bit more on the light-hearted side instead of every song's like a heartbreak song these days. I still love that shit, but it's like it could do with a little change.
I absolutely agree. Like I was telling you, we spoke to Dead Bundy yesterday, and I don't know if you're familiar with their stuff at all, but
Yeah, I know a few songs.
they're very split between super serious, I don't want to say depressing, but like super serious songs. And then they have a song that's called My Mom's on OnlyFans, like stuff like that, like
Yeah,
super lighthearted
that's the
stuff.
shit. Yeah, that's what I like, man. It's just that was what like Blink and shit made pop punk into that shit. So it has to be carried on because I think during like the 2010 era when like the likes of the Stories of Far Next were coming up, pop punk got like really serious. That all of that went out the window, and I think it's kind of coming back now. So
It'd been good to see Blink come back together too. Speaking of that,
of course,
have you ever been told that some of your vocals do sound like Tom DeLonge a little bit?
yeah,
And Overstayed My Welcome, yeah, I can hear the head, like you know what I mean,
yeah,
what he's known
yeah,
for. I could hear
yeah.
that a
It
little.
just comes out naturally when you're making pop punk. Man.
Still staying with the creating music side of things, you have posted about being an individual artist, and I was just wondering if there were some things you could kind of explain how, like, some of the challenges that come with being an individual artist.
What in terms of the songwriting process, or more like exposure side of things?
I mean, kind of in general. I mean, I'm sure, like, because you said you're doing everything yourself, but like booking shows, like, is that difficult? Is recording and everything difficult yourself? And
It's almost like a business, like trying to run a band. There's just so much to do, and a lot of it you don't want to do. Like absolutely love songwriting. Like I'll do that regardless, every single day, without anyone like telling us about, without me like procrastinating over it. On the other hand, like the social media stuff, to be honest, I don't like doing it. I don't like making Instagram reels and doing all this shit, but it has to be done. I don't like uploading songs. Like I have to upload the next single tonight to schedule to come out for like next month, stuff like that. It's like it's not fun, but it's a part of it, and it's very important to, like, if you want to actually get your music heard. So
and that's kind of what I was referring to with being an
yeah,
individual artist. I mean, obviously, I'm not a musician. From what I understand, when like you sign those record deals or whatever, a lot of that stuff gets done for you.
so yeah, that's the appeal of like signing the deal and everything. Obviously, we are a band, so I do have the lads there to help with like little things, maybe just like with live shows and stuff. That's a big help because we're basically our brand, and he's very tech savvy. So because we want to start like implementing different things live, like using more electronic sounds and stuff live. So that's definitely help having Brian and stuff doing that for us. So
With being an individual artist too, something that's good from it is you have all the freedom in the world. I mean, it's completely yours. So
yeah, yeah, true, yeah, no interference from anywhere.
on a couple of the singles I have written down here, would you say that Overstayed Your Welcome has probably been your most successful song commercially?
Technically, according to like, if we're going off like streams and stuff, like Hold On's probably is the biggest, but it's definitely one of the bigger ones. I think they're all just they're doing really well though, consistent. When we look at the way like the streams and stuff are going, they're becoming like way more consistent without the help of like playlists and stuff now. Like our newest song, for example, only came out on Friday, and it's just about hit 2,000 streams, which is a lot for us. Considering we've got no like playlists, no help or anything, we've barely promoted it. It's like it shows people are actually tuning in now, and people are like starting to pay attention. And it's kind of just getting that snowball effect. But yeah, Overstate's definitely one of the bigger ones. I'm more excited to release new music, to be honest. I'm always like that. Once I've released a song and I've heard it that many times, I don't really like think about it. Just gets put on one side and then on to the next thing.
You know, just kind of talking about Overstayed Your Welcome still. What was kind of the message behind that?
I think the chorus is pretty like self-explanatory in terms it's like kind of like a girl moving away and you're like stuck sort of thing. I don't always write songs from my perspective necessarily. I like to put myself in other people's shoes, which is something that I get from Green Day. That's something Billy Joel's always done with his songs, and yeah. So I like to do that with songs. It's not always necessarily about me personally, but that's kind of the whole vibe of the song. It was inspired off something personally, but yeah, that's the whole.
That one was a personal experience.
Yeah.
We won't go into detail about it, but
Yeah.
something that I have heard from a lot of the artists that we've talked to already is that kind of, what's the word? That kind of event happening does make some pretty good music.
It does, yeah.
Yeah, promotes some good lyrics. This is another song you just mentioned, actually. Hold On. I love that song too. That's probably my most listened song from you. What kind of led to that one getting an acoustic version compared to the other ones?
With it being like kind of all like open chords and like really nice, just nice open chords, I knew it would work great as an acoustic. It was always an idea from like as soon as we recorded it, I was thinking this would work great as an acoustic song. Like I think it could have even just been an acoustic song and then not like the original version, and it would have been fine. But funny thing is, Hold On, I wasn't even going to release that. Like it wasn't a song that I'd ever like actually liked that much. But the band was like, no, we need to release it. We need to release it. And I was like, right, fine. But I definitely didn't expect that because that was the first song that got like playlisted for us. When it did, it was like a huge deal for us. I thought it was impossible if you're not signed to get playlisted and stuff. It was like the holy grail, and then it actually happened. We were like, holy shit.
Which versions had more success, the acoustic or classic version?
Oh, definitely the classic version, yeah. Like I said, we managed to score a lot of big playlists with that song. I think it's still in Skate Park Punks on Spotify. Spotify obviously liked it as well, so because of that, it got very, very pushed into the algorithm and stuff. And it works so good live as well, that song, to be fair. We always play at the end, and it's really good.
Do you ever play the acoustic version live?
I believe we played it once. That was an acoustic set, slightly different, but again, yeah, it works great as an acoustic. So
The set changes mostly every show.
pretty much, yeah. We'll try to mix it all around. We're showing in April. That's going to be the longest set yet. We're going to try and play the whole EP alongside all that and stuff. So
Yeah, you just mentioned the EP that's coming out soon.
yeah.
Is that going to be all new songs, starting with "Or I Told You So" that just came out, or is it going to be some of your older songs are going to be put on that, or what's that kind of?
It's going to be all new songs, yeah, from I Told You So. The next single that's coming out, that's my favourite off the EP. We've also just filmed the music video for it. It's called Don Juan. It's a pretty funny name. If you want to Google it, you can. It's about, it's like, again, what I was getting back at being a bit like more jokey. So it's got like a lot of references in it as well to like certain bands. I'll leave it open for people to figure out themselves if they want to. Yeah, I'm really proud of that song. And we've just recorded a music video with a guy called Murray Deeves. He does like neck deep and stuff. He did take what's the song called then? Forgot what the song's called. The Take Me As You
Take Me With You When You Go, or whatever it's
Take Me
called.
With You When You Go. He did the music video for that, so he's like really good. And we've just made a video for it, and it looks so good. I'm so excited to release it.
Is that what you've been teasing on your Instagram? The footage from the tunnel, or whatever it is you want to call it?
That one's for I Told You So. So we've got that video coming out next week. Hopefully, if everything goes to plan, we've got like a little bit more to record for that. We're gonna start like dropping hints and stuff for the next single within the next week or so.
Of course, for what you're allowed to share, what is your kind of release schedule looking like? When's the EP set to release?
If everything goes to plan, Don Juan should come out the end of this month. No, sorry, the start of next month, and then the EP. No, one more single the month later, and then the EP after. So it'll be like 3 singles, then 3 on the EP.
6 songs total?
6 songs.
And the EP is coming out right before your tour, correct?
Yeah. Well, we haven't actually put this online or anything, but it's fine. Originally, we were meant to be going to Germany just after that came out for like a couple of weeks on a tour, but it got knocked back. But it will be coming because we're getting a lot of requests to go to Germany, so we're all coming. It just takes time. We're gonna do like the UK run again, yeah, straight after the EP. It might even be before the EP is fully out, but that was kind of the best time to go. We'll still be playing the songs.
So how long has this EP kind of been in the process, and the singles? How long have they been in the works?
The way I'll write songs, as I said, like I'm kind of writing every day. Certain like ideas I'll know I'm gonna run with, but like even if I know I'm gonna run with them, still put them on one side. I'll be like, right, I might use that as a single on the next project, and then I might come back to it. So like some of these songs have probably been on my laptop for like it could be like a year plus maybe, and I'm often like pulling parts of songs apart and then putting them in other songs, and like I do that a lot. So probably about a year maybe have been in the works, but I purposely spent longer writing these songs than I ever have of any other stuff. A lot of the stuff I've put out has been like very quick. Deja Vu was the chorus for that song, Deja Vu. I wrote that the night before the studio because what I used to do is book in the studio to like force myself to record because like I wanted to keep on a tight schedule, but then not even have the songs fully finished. So I'd be like going absolutely manic the last week, staying up all night until I had the perfect chorus. But yeah, Deja Vu was literally a night before we went into the studio. So yeah.
I mean, that one's worked out for you. It seems
Yeah,
like
that one came out good. Yeah, people love
Mm.
that one live too. It's a good live song.
You've been working on this stuff for a while, and it's kind of up to you now to, like you said, it's a business. You kind of have to make the best business decisions for
Yeah,
releasing and stuff like that. So
nowadays it just seems like if you don't do the marketing side of things, the social media and stuff, you'd literally just get left behind. Like labels and stuff, they don't care about talent anymore. It's sad, but that's the reality of it. That's why you see all like influencers and shit are getting record deals now, and like, half of them can't even make music. It's just but they'll sign them because they've got the clout there. That's just the way the industry is now. But you've got to move with the times, or you get left behind, I suppose.
Me and Caleb, for our project that we're doing, that was kind of one of our ideas. Is like I said, he's a film guy, post-production guy, and then I'm a marketing student, kind of trying to think of a way that we could do something that'd be good for our resumes, and then also, we can like work on our skills or whatever.
Yeah.
And we thought that, I don't want to call it freelance, but like almost doing like freelance like marketing for musicians would be a good way to do it.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely.
So that's what we've kind of been doing to grow people like yourself and Dead Bundy and other bands like that.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man.
To kind of wrap the questions up, what can you kind of tell us about this EP release party that you've been hinting at on your Instagram?
Like I say, hopefully if it goes to plan, we can play all the songs for starters, which will be sick, off the EP, that is. Other than that, it'll be a crazy night. It'll be sold out. It's like I say, it's already selling really good, and close at the time they always end up selling out, so it'll be carnage like the last one was. Drinks going all over. Last time the mic stand smashed my teeth mid song. That was fun. Just all that sort of thing, yeah. So yeah, it'll be carnage. If you're from Newcastle or surrounding area, get yourself down. You'll enjoy it, and we might even be selling some special merch, maybe.
With the new EP, I mean, obviously you released your latest single off of it. Would you say that there's any kind of change in sound or kind of a direction that you're going compared to your older stuff?
Like I said earlier, I think I'm not fully where I want to be with the sound. It's just stepping stones to getting where I one day want to be with it. I think it's definitely still like the same sort of theme. Overall, the music's probably got like a bit heavier. We're still going to be dabbling in the like electronic side of things and stuff always, because I love that sort of music. I love like Juice WRLD's. I know you mentioned like influences earlier, but I'm massively into like Juice WRLD and all the like SoundCloud era of rap and stuff. I really like all that stuff. It's not just like put on it for like, because I know that's like the trend now with like pop punk, is to like make that like MGK pop punk that is like heavy influence. But it wasn't just a case of jumping on the bandwagon with us. Like we were doing it before. That was like a cool thing to do. But it looks like that from the outside, that we're just like jumping on the new wave, but it wasn't like that. So.
You mentioned Juice WRLD, kind of artists like that, Little Peep. I think I can see you have you have tattoos, right?
Yeah, got quite a few.
Gotcha. Yeah, I have a Juice WRLD tattoo. I have a 999 tattooed on me. He's one of my favorites.
Out of that whole, he's the goat for me. Yeah. He's untouchable. Just watching him like freestyle and stuff, it just blows me away.
He's so talented.
So talented. So young as well, man. Such a shame he died.
Caleb, my partner for this project, he's a big Mac Miller guy.
I love Mac Miller as well. He's sick.
Yeah, no, he's not quite the same as Juice. Not quite the same.
Nah, different sort of sound. Juice has like got the sort of like the melody and stuff, the singing. That's what I always loved about Juice. Like, it was just so natural for him as well. There was no like filters. It was just so authentic, so real. That's why I think he connects so well with people.
Do you listen to Little Peep at all?
Yeah, I love Little Peep as well. I think it's Come Over When You're Sober Part 1. I think it's a 6-song EP or 7-song. That EP is just unbelievable. I remember when he died, I remember like I was listening to the EP and I was on the way to school, and I got to school and like as I would listen to it every day because I was addicted to it. And then I just pulled up my phone and like I'd seen that he died, and it was really emotional seeing that, man. After like listening to those songs, it just hits harder. You know what I mean?
Obviously, it's very unfortunate all of those guys have passed. They were all so talented, so good. Again, when I was talking to Dead Bundy yesterday, they did a Little Peep cover actually of Spotlight. That song.
Yeah.
They did a rock cover of it. That was really good. And I was asking them kind of what the process behind picking that song was, and they're just like, "Oh, we just like Little Peep, and that was actually the first song we did as a band was that cover." So
yeah, it's a shame, man, because I think like if the likes of Little Peep and Juice and stuff were still around now, I'm pretty sure that they'd be making on this wave of new rock sort of hip hop influence sort of shit. I'm pretty sure they'd be joining in with it, if you know what I mean. And I think they'd be really, really good at it. That was always in the music. I just think like it was never like that was the new Blink-182 for like our generation. You know what I mean? That's just what it was now. So
I don't know if you know the song off the top of your head, but the song "Man of the Year" by Juice WRLD.
Yeah, I do. It's like that's kind of like a pop punk song.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I was gonna say. I love that song because it is.
Yeah, it's great, yeah.
Almost more pop.
That's what I mean. It would have been sick to hear like a full album of that sort of thing, man.
Sounds like we probably have one more Juice album coming. It's from what I've heard.
Really?
I think there's one more
Yeah.
coming, but I doubt it'll be pop punk,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Probably
I
not.
wish. So yeah, again, just kind of closing this out. What would you say the future of Kid Punk looks like?
Well, the short feature after this EP comes out, I'll be like in the studio as it's coming out, so I can get another. Honestly, like hopefully, I want to try and get another EP out this year on top of this one. If I can, we'll see what happens regarding that. But in the long future, I want to obviously take it as far as possible and try and just become a name in the whole scene. Hopefully become like a band that everyone recognises and stuff. I think we will get there. I just think it just takes time, especially when you're from the UK and stuff. It's not as easy as having like the full country tour like you do, like America. It would be sick to have that much space to cover, but we've hit nearly every city in the UK already. To do that in America, it would take
Years and
it
years.
would take a decade probably.
Is that what you would say the dream is? Just to get big and
Not necessarily like big or anything. Like if that happens, that would be cool. Just to do it like any sort of level where you could kind of do it as a job, just live off it, which doesn't always mean being like the biggest band in the world. Just doing it so to the point where I can wake up every day and not have to work and write music. That's the truth.
absolutely. No, that's awesome. Again, to wrap this up, any particular social media plugs you want us to plug in this video, or just anything we can find?
No, but if people want to keep an eye out for the new music video, that'll probably be out next week. Just on the Kid Punk YouTube channel, and also keep an eye out for the new single, which we're pretty Instagram heavy. If anyone's gonna like follow us closely, Instagram's definitely the best place to keep an eye on what we're doing. So.